What's going on, guys? My name is Renixiel.
It's your boy Volbino.
Today we're here to do a movie review for The Secret Life of Pets 2.
You've been so stressed lately, but this vet is gonna help you.
He specializes in behavioral disorders.
But I don't have a behavioral disorder.
Yeah, I'm fine too. It's my human that's nuts. I mean, I bring her a dead bird, she throws it out. There's nothing I do good enough for you, mother!
Oh, it's just this weird little guy. Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Ow, ow!
Anyway, this movie follows actually 3 separate storylines,
Yes.
which is different from the first. Is it different from the first movie, Secret Life of Pets 1?
Yeah.
No, just 1. Where we follow Max, the main character. He's a terrier of some kind. His owners actually get pregnant and have a child.
Yes.
And, of course, being a part of the family, he thinks the kid is not necessarily his, but his responsibility to take care of.
Yeah.
So that's causing a massive amount of anxiety. So they go to a farm to deal with those anxieties and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And where he meets Rooster, who's played by Harrison Ford, which I did not know when they were playing, when I was voicing him. He had the same gruff voice, but it was a little different. That was Max's story. We've also followed 2 other storylines in the movie.
Yeah.
But before we get to that part, what did you think of this movie overall, man?
I mean, it was just there for me. It was good as the first one, I would say. I did like the whole 3 separate stories because I really thought maybe it was going to kind of... I'd be like, oh, here we go again. They're trying to, do 3 different things and then we're going to get confused. But in reality, I didn't really get confused. I actually enjoyed it. And then, of course, at the very end, they all come together, which makes sense. I wasn't really... I wasn't too excited about it, but at the same time, it was good. It was great.
I thought it was not a bad movie overall. It wasn't the greatest movie, especially for an animated kids movie. It wasn't the greatest one I've ever seen in a long time, but it was enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. There were, of course, being a cartoon, there were some discrepancies with World War. We won't get into that too much. It's me nitpicking things. So,
well, I did enjoy Kevin Hart, him playing Snowball and following his story because that was kind of funny. And then seeing
first
Daisy,
one,
or Tiffany Haddish played Daisy, right?
Yes.
Tiffany Haddish, you played Daisy.
Yes.
That was kind of cool because just like you said, there were 3 different stories. So you also follow Snowball, who is, of course, is happy that he has an owner now. He's, the owner's playing with him, and he becomes a superhero or wannabe. He thinks he's a. I don't think he thinks he's real. Do you think he's real? I don't think he thinks that he's a real superhero.
If he is, it's egotistical. He knows he doesn't have superpowers, but he still acts like he does. Like it's building on his own ego and his own persona. Because in the first movie, you remember, he was a rebellion leader.
Yes.
He's all big and powerful for being a small little white bunny, and he controls alligators and all that stuff.
Right.
So he wants that power back.
Yeah. Well, one thing I did notice though, not every single pet was in this one though. There was only like a few pets. I just thought about that. I was like, you know what? Like, how they had all the parties and all that stuff. You don't see all the other dogs and other cats that were there. They're not really there. I'm kind of surprised by that. But it was still good. It wasn't bad. But.
Following Snowball storyline, he's a superhero, and what kind of dog was she? I can't remember what she was. Her name is Daisy, played by, of course, Tiffany Haddish.
Yes.
She comes to Snowball looking for his superhero help.
Yes. And it was so hilarious. She goes, "I'm looking for Snowball. I'll be right back." What is that noise? What is going on in there?
He tries to do the whole Superman changing out thing, and it's obvious who he is.
Oh, it's so funny.
And they're actually the main story mode. This is the main story here. Of course, Max's story with his anxiety and overcoming his fears, that's a big part of the story.
Yeah.
But Snowball's story actually brings about the villain of the movie and moves the story forward, where we need that forces all 3 different storylines to converge into one. And of course, we have Gidget's story, who is the Pomeranian or
the girlfriend. Well, kind of a girlfriend, I guess.
I think it's the best friend that is slightly in love with
crush.
him. Yeah,
having a crush
with Max.
Yeah.
She leaves. Max is, of course, going to countryside, so he leaves Gidget to watch his toy, which she accidentally loses in a cat-filled apartment.
Yeah, it's a lady full of cats. A lady full with like 50.
It's still a lot of cats.
There's a lot of cats.
And, of course, cats and dogs fight, and they're not exactly the best of friends in this universe. Well, in any universe. But anyway, so she has to get the help of Chloe, which is the overweight cat that we met in the first movie, to teach her how to be a cat. She goes in there, becomes the queen of the cats, to get the toy back. And Then at that point, all the storylines converge, which we won't reveal that much about it. But overall, the movie was, as I said, interesting. It was enjoyable to watch, kind of simplistic in the overall terms of the narrative and all the things going on.
Right.
But it was a fun, enjoyable watch, especially with the kids. The kids were laughing and they were enjoying themselves a lot of the time.
Yeah, but like I said, I never would have thought that 3 different stories will come together. I really was not thinking that. I was thinking like, oh my God, it's just too much going on right now. But I didn't think that. I was like, holy snap.
Watching this movie, I felt like it could almost be a TV show.
Yeah.
They can take it and make it. Of course, this whole apartment complex is, of course, house full of pets. So each episode can follow a different person's story. And we don't have to, obviously, we don't have to follow Max, who's the main character, because this and movie had different people's storylines going on. You could follow Snowball and his adventures with his kids, and this happens, so he has to go do this for a 25-minute episode. Gidget has something going on, or Gidget and Max go on a date for something. I don't know. There's a bunch of multiple stories you could do with all these different characters that they could do, and it proved the point of this movie that they can separate them out into having multiple stories and make a TV show out of it.
I think they could do that. Also, what I love about this movie, also, which I did not notice, actually your sister noticed, was it talked about anxiety and mental health, and I didn't even think of it like that. But I'm like, wow, they really did talk about that. Because, Max had anxiety over, oh my gosh, it's a new kid in the house, what am I supposed to do? He's loving the kid, but now he's worried about, oh my gosh, I'm scared that the kid's going to fall into a hole, and I got to watch it. Like, I never really thought of it like that. It really did cover about anxiety. It really did. Anxiety
and other behavioral disorders and mental issues. I also told some coping mechanisms, which is interesting because a lot of movies, especially cartoons and all that stuff, tend to veer away from that stuff more and sideline it or villainize it in certain aspects. Like you'll see all these psycho movies where the villain has some sort of issue and that's where they're killing people and all that stuff. Yeah. But this movie actually brings about it's okay to be have anxiety. It's okay to be this and that. As long as you are able to find ways to cope with it, use your friends, family, and all that stuff, and just get along.
Another big thing I noticed that I was kind of surprised about, but didn't really care was the villain. Even though I felt like there really wasn't really a villain, but there kind of was a villain, but he wasn't the main focus of this movie.
He was not, but like I said, he's the point. He's the very point that all the movies had to converge, and he's from Snowball storyline. But it felt like there was no. For the first more than half the movie, it felt like there was no real villain, no real conflict going on other than basic growth and basic story. Which, for most of the movie, it felt like I was watching 3 different TV shows or episodes of a TV show. Until, of course, they all converged together and you saw that it was all a big thing. Yeah. So, that was the main thing I was watching. I was like, TV show. Why am I watching this movie? It could be a TV show. Just make a really good TV show. Yeah. That was my main point.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, definitely go check it out. If you got kids, I'm pretty sure they'll enjoy it. I know there was one kid we didn't really like it. It's kind of funny. She came down the stairs like, "This movie sucked." I was like, "Wow, I didn't think a kid would hate a movie." I never really thought that. But guess.
Then the people in front of me in the theater, we separated out in the theater. Yeah. They started applauding after the movie ended. Yeah, they were applauding it. So some people hated it, some people loved it.
I would say I loved it. I just liked it.
It was
funny. I laughed.
It was okay, and it was an enjoyable ride.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart did their thing.
They did. All the voices and characters acted really well with their characters. A lot of them were returning from the first movie, and they were not bad in that one either. So,
but this movie will make you respect your pet. Like every time I watch this movie, I'll be like, I can't wait to see Rascal. I can't wait to see Raven. Like it makes you really be like, oh my gosh, I gotta see my pet. Even though I'm pretty sure they're not doing anything that we know of. You don't know.
Toy Story, Secret Pets, all of our inanimate objects, any toys, action figures, items in the house, pets, they are all sentient and knowing things that we're doing in our house without us.
I would love to just have a camera just be like, all right, let's see what they do. They just be walking around.
That would freak me out.
Really?
If I have a camera up and see my inanimate objects start walking around like, all right, selling you, throwing you away, trashing you, burning you.
Really? So if they started talking or doing anything, you wouldn't be like...
I would think witchcraft or something.
I would love it. I'm gonna now we can know.
Fine. All right, I'll give an ultimatum. Talk to me, or I'll burn you. I want to befriend you. I know you're okay, but if you're moving around without me knowing about it and trying to hide it from me, that's suspicious, and I'm gonna destroy it.
That is true.
I understand Toy Story. They're actually. I know it's a totally different movie, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, but things that aren't supposed to talk and be sentient are still talking sentient. It's a little unusual.
I would love it. But your babies can talk. That'd be great. But
That's Boss Baby. Anyway, getting off topic. Anyway, anything else you want to say?
nah, man, definitely go check out this movie. Your kids will love it. Like I said, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out. If you're watching this on my channel, man, check out my boy Ray Nixon, man. He does something he gotta do, man. Movie review, trailer reactions, and so forth. Also, check out Fear Bot Gaming. We play games on there. We got some games coming out. We was gonna do some E3 stuff, but we don't see anything that's.
There's a couple things coming out.
There's
but
a couple
it's-
things. Nothing really special. That we haven't seen anything.
Maybe Cyberpunk. But anyway,
It's Cyberpunk. And
if you're,
yeah.
if you're watching this on my channel, go check out Rubino Entertainment. Link down in the description
Actually,
below. So I can enjoy
Oh
all
yeah,
the
but
channels.
yeah.
And also check out Kid Rubino, since he's trying to
Yeah.
talk over me. Also linked in the description below, both his channels. Rubino Entertainment follows through with adult or more mature movies, TV shows, top 5, stuff like that.
Yeah.
While Kid Rubino deals with anime and cartoons and more of a childhood-based stuff. So both of them are good stuff, and separate out's also fun to organize. Anything else you want to say? Last minute?
Nah, man. That's
All right.
it, man.
So I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one. We do. Bye.
Peace out.